Hello everyone. This is the demo of the new HTC badge portal, specifically for the reception desks. So the other recordings I did in front of a live audience. Unfortunately for the reception desks, no one could attend, so I will just go through it by myself, basically. I want to show two specific use cases for the reception desk. One is just the usual use case for checking people in, right? People arrive at the reception desk, they need a badge, they need to be registered, and then they can get a badge and then they can enter into the building. The other use case is for bike management. It's two different systems. One is one system specifically for the visitor management and the other one specific for bike management. I will start off with the one for visitor management. That's also the main use case. So I'm logged in here, or I'm here now currently at the test environment. You can see here, there's a big red sign that is the test environment. And the actual URL of the production environment will be shared with everybody, but it will look more or less the same. And the first time you need to register yourself. You need to register yourself, or in principle, all the reception accounts from the old system have been migrated also to the new system. However, they don't have any passwords assigned to it yet. So the first time you will have to click this password forgotten button. You fill in the email of the reception desk. You say reset password. You get a link. You register your new password, and then you can use that password to log into the system. You need to be careful though that the username to log in is not your usual password. Your email address. It is actually the number of your badge. I will something that we will share for each reception desk has their own reception account. You might not know this number, so this number will be shared as well. So now I'm just going to log in. So once you log in, you see the appointment overview. As you can see, you have the different appointments here. You can search through them. You can search by visitor or by organizer. Depending on the reception where you're at, you might see multiple entrances here. So I think this is an account that has access to all the receptions. So it can really see, okay, what are the appointments that it's HTC 32, which ones are the ones at HTC 7. But that depends a bit on where the receptions are located. So some receptions can only look at their own entrance, only at the appointments for themselves, while others kind of share. So if someone arrives at the wrong building, then they can still be checked in and they can still get a badge. So you can also filter on the date. But the most important part is that that here you get the list of the different people that have been signed up for a visit. You can see here there are two different meetings by the same organizer. And you can see that depending on whether this visitor did some kind of pre-registration, you either see the name or you only see the email address. So if someone didn't pre-register themselves before, you can only see the email address, and of course, the organizer and when they should come and when they should leave. But if they did pre-register themselves, they already have the name available. So yeah, to check someone in, just click the check-in button right next to the name. Again, you see some appointment details. You could still change some of the things here, but if the visitor already went through the pre-registration, it should already be filled in. And then the only thing that you need to fill in here still is the visitor badge. So every reception which will work with the reception portal will actually have this little card reader, and if you put the card, put one of the reception badges on this card, you will immediately get the number out, and it will be put into this this field. Of course, you need to select it first. You put the card on the reader, and then immediately it's filled in. I don't have this reader right now, so I will just copy paste it. Just see. So this is the badge number. Press check in. System needs to run a bit. And then you can see, you go back to the appointment overview, and you can see that this person has checked in, because now it has a little check mark, and now the button has changed, so we can only revoke the access. So if someone needs to leave, you can press revoke access, and then so if someone finishes their appointment early or something, they can bring back the badge. You receive the badge and can immediately press revoke access, because then you can use the badge for the next person. If someone hasn't done a pre-registration yet, it's almost the same. You still get the details, but then you still need to fill in the first name and the last name. But again, you don't have to fill in the organization and function, just optional fields. But of course, you need to again assign a visitor badge, and then press check in again. Then also this person will be checked in. So this is specifically for the people who, for the appointments that have been registered in the system. How to register someone as a visitor, that's something that's discussed, I think, in the recording for the employee officers. So I'm not going to go through that whole thing again. Also, because as a receptionist, you don't actually need to do the to sign up visitors anymore, or because you can immediately check them in, even without them having a prior appointment. So you don't have to go in the portal first to say, okay, these visitors are going to come. You can immediately check them in. So you can go here, you can say check in, give a start and end date. So of course there's no appointment yet, so you need to first say, okay, the start of the appointment is 12:30, finished at 1. You can search here for the organizer. So let's say, so you can do a search. Okay, that's this person, and then you need to say, okay, where do they need to go to? They need to be able to access this location, and then afterwards it's just exactly the same as before. So you register their first name. And then again, you select the visitor badge, and then you do check-in. Let me just show you if it's, for example, a badge that's already been. Yeah. So you can see that this person has also been checked in at the moment. Okay, so this is more or less it, right? So either people have been have the appointment already. So there's actually 3 different options, right? So either either an appointment has been put into the system already by the host, and the visitor already has done this pre-registration, in that case, you'll get the name here already, and then you can just check in and then just give them a badge. You can have it that the appointment has been registered, but the visitor didn't pre-register themselves yet. That means then that you only see the email address here, but you can still, check them in, fill in their details, and then give them the badge. Or the last case is, I know the appointment hasn't been registered yet, but then you can use this check-in button to, set up the appointment and immediately check in the person. So yeah, those are the true use cases of this. And of course, once afterwards, you can always revoke someone's access by pressing this button. So let's say, okay, this meeting finished earlier. You can say, I want to just revoke this access. And you can see, you can check them in again if necessary. So that's the visitor management part. The other part is the bike management part. So let me open a different tab. So bike management, it's kind of a separate process, and it's also handled in a different application because it's handled in the cart management system. It's not handled in the visitor management system, it's in the cart management system. So sometimes you'll also see see some references to cards. A more broader name would be credentials, because bike keys are also kind of modeled as cards in here. I will just show you. So let's log in. This is also a different username password than for the visitor management system. However, similarly to the we will also share these credentials as well as the URL with you in the next couple of weeks. So this is login. The card management system is actually a quite elaborate system. What we've done for the reception is it's a specific role, reception role. So you only see a very limited amount of it. So for example, you cannot see persons, you can only go to cards. And when you go to cards, you see in this main grid, you see immediately all the bike keys. It's basically an overview of all the bike keys. What else do we see here? It's mostly things to kind of go through this list. In the test system, we have maybe 15 of these bike keys. I imagine that in production it might be much more, and you might want to be able to quickly search through this list. You can search through the list on a couple of different ways. You have the standard filters here at the top, so you can say, okay, I just want to see the bikes that are currently at a reception. I want to see all the lost bike keys. Apparently there are none. The keys that are at the repair shop. So this is, a quick way to, if you just want to have an overview. Okay, I want to know how many keys are currently there, are currently for repair. You can just quickly click here. On top of that, you can also do a search here. So, for example, if you want to search for okay, this doesn't look. If you want to search for a person's name, right, you can click it here, press enter, and then you only see that person. So for example, if you know that someone has a bike but you don't know anymore which bike he has, you can search there. And then the third option to actually look is to use to click on these column names. So you can click on bike location, and you can say things like, okay, you can sort it. Maybe handy if you quickly want to see, okay, which bike is where, or you can actually filter it where you say, okay, let's show me only the bikes that are currently at HTC 31, and then you see, oh, there's two of them, and they are at the reception. So that's how you can kind of view the different kind of view and look through the different bike keys. If you actually want to do something, you need to click one of the bike keys. So if you click one of the, or select one of the bike keys, you get the details tab appears. It gives you a bit of the same information in the key details as you can already see here. So this doesn't really provide much more information. What it does is in the state history. So this is a key that hasn't been used yet, but you could see, for example, here that this key, okay, first it was at reception, and then it was issued, then came back to the reception again, and then it was issued again. So you can see that's how the what happened to the bike in the past. Yeah, and you can also see that there's these these buttons at the bottom. These buttons, which buttons are shown depends on the state of the bike key, right? So if you have a bike key that's at the reception, you can say, okay, I'm going to issue it, hand it out to someone, or you can repair it. Well, if if it's already been issued, then you can only retrieve a bike key, or you can report it as lost. So let's just go through the workflow of handing out a key. So you have the key in your hand. You read. You can check the number. You select it. Then you say issue bike key. You get a nice form. You say okay. You write down the name of the person that you give it to. Okay. Just as in the current system, you note down their badge number, and you also note their badge type. So because people can identify themselves on the HTC campus with two different badges, either with an actual HTC either with an HTC badge or with a Philips badge. So you also need to indicate whether it's an HTC badge or a Philips badge, just so you know, oh yeah, that badge number was taken from a Philips badge or an HTC badge and not from the other one. Press OK, and that's it. At this point, you can press the refresh button. You see, okay, now we see that the key has been issued to Erik van der Voort, who has this badge number. If this person then comes back either to the same reception or a different one, the reception then presses the retrieve bike key, selects OK. Well, now the bike key is located at HTC, a different location maybe. Press OK, and that's it. You can refresh the list again. You see, okay, the bike key has been returned at HTC 46. Besides that, you can also do the bike repair. Then it just goes immediately, okay, to the repair shop. There's nothing you need to do. And of course, you can retrieve it again once the bike key is returned. It can also maybe, be returned to a different location. So again, you select it, and then, the bike, you can see that the bike key is right now again at HTC 48. Okay. Yeah, that's more or less it. It's a pretty simple system. So the receptionists will all be able to access this overview. The same also goes for some people from the security department. However, the difference is that the people from the security department do not have any of these buttons. So they can look, they can see where are these bikes, who has them, but they cannot actually hand them out or retrieve them. I see that there is also a final button, which is the report lost. So if someone loses their bike key, right, it will keep their name just so you know them. But the state of the bike is the bike key is set to lost, and then only if it is found, you can again retrieve it. Say, okay, well, the byte key was found. We left it at HTC 25, and then it just goes back to HTC 25. Okay, so that's the bike management part. I don't think there's much more to tell about this part either. So yeah, for now this is the end of the demo. If there are questions or comments, best is probably to reach out to patch support, and then if necessary they will be able to contact me, and then they can forward their questions. Okay, thank you for listening.